to the Team Lawson channel. I'm Theresa.
I'm Mike.
And we're millennials and we're making it. On our channel, we discuss all things that meet within the intersection of millennial marriage and special needs parenting.
We want to create a community that's both inclusive and encouraging.
So go ahead and hit that subscription button so that you can help us reach our goal of making it to 1,000 subscribers before that we reach our anniversary day.
Also, don't forget to smash that like button so you can let the algorithm know that you think we're awesome.
So, couple of things. Laptop's hot, fan just went off and might come back on. It's storming outside. Or it's about to. Is it raining? It's raining now, and so lightning and thunder. It's probably gonna happen. And was there anything else? Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be quick. It's almost pickup time. So came across a little video on the interwebs. I think it's on Facebook. I think that's where I saw it. But it's definitely where I got the link from. And I'll try to put the link down below so that you can watch the video too. It was a duet, or a TikTok duet, I don't know. But the first video was a guy complaining about women being having unrealistic expectations for men, and that they should, his words, settle for a man that is good enough. And another guy was like, that's dumb. Their expectations aren't realistic. Women just have standards now, and they can, because they're no longer seen as property in society. By the majority, they're seen as people and individuals who can have desires and wants and needs and expectations for a partner. And if they can't find that, they can just stay by themselves if they want to. And it's totally a life that women can live now, right? And so my question to my husband was, do you think that I have unrealistic expectations of you? Or do men feel that way about their partners and spouses and the women they're trying today? Because I'm not single, haven't been single for 13 years. Did I get it right?
Yeah.
Haven't been single for 13 years, right? I don't know nothing about the dating. And honestly, me and Michael didn't really date. Like, we hung out and were friends for a few years, and we were like, hey, we should be a couple. Kind of how it happened. And that's what we did. And I know, like, that is a privilege, and it is a privilege not to be in the dating pool of 2021. Because it's rough out here in these streets. For ladies, and for men, too. And so, like, you see there are a couple of threads on Instagram and TikTok about, like, duet this video with the most brokest thing a man has done to you on a date. But, like, I never thought about, like, what is it like for guys? Do you feel like you just can't cut it sometimes? Do you feel like we're hard to please?
Sometimes.
Why? When are the times?
Sometimes y'all be needing a lot. I mean,
what's a lot, and what are the times that we feel like women need a lot?
What you mean, women need a lot? I don't know what all women.
No, you said sometimes women are.
I ain't say women.
What?
I said sometimes you be needing a lot.
Okay, well, elaborate, sir. Use your words.
That's your love language. Acts of services. So some women need more than others.
You still haven't elaborated.
I did
elaborate. On my shirt.
Some women need more than others. You need more stuff done for you than. I mean, I'm not saying you're the only woman that's like that, but it's just some women need more stuff done for them than others. I mean, you know, if that's your love language, you know, that's how it make you feel loved or whatever. Some women just need more than others.
Do you think the average woman is asking too much from the average man?
In 2021, sometimes, yes.
Okay, how so?
I mean, and that's why I was answering it the way I was answering it. I can't just give you a flat out.
So what would be a woman asking too much?
Nah, I can't.
What?
Some of this stuff, I mean, I'm gonna go to social media. Like some of the stuff that these women really posted this stuff. Like, man, if you see some of their budgets and they say a man's supposed to pay that with no, like, bruh. No.
I think some of that comes from, but I can do this by myself. When I go out to eat by myself, I can do this.
Ain't some of these women ain't no.
Sit up.
Everything. Man, I'm not. No.
Be specific.
If you wouldn't, if you could do this by yourself, you wouldn't be asking me. All your bills come out to in between $6,000 and $8,000, and you can do that by yourself. You shouldn't be asking.
I think that is extreme, and I don't think that's the average.
No.
That's not what I'm talking about.
I'm not saying the average, but
and I think the guy in this video gave that caveat. There are some people who are just extreme, but on average, the average woman who is dating, do you know any women who expect a man to drop $6,000 on them?
I went to a hood school, yes.
That's not true. Some of these people some of these people, when you were going to them, and to this day, have not seen a bill or a budget for $6,000 for anything.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
I mean, that's your opinion. I mean, that's how you feel, but we don't know that. I'm not in that person.
Okay, so back to the average question, as you avoided it a billion times.
I did not avoid
So, the average man and the average woman. You said, on average, sometimes women ask for too much from men. What would be considered too much for a woman to ask for?
I mean, I don't know.
But that's not something that the average woman is doing. I don't.
The average woman, well, I can't. But that's going back to what I'm saying.
But I'm asking you, what as a man, what is too much to ask for? That's what I'm asking you.
I don't know.
You knew that $6,000 budget was
that's
too
the
much
only
to ask
example.
for.
It is.
So what is reasonable then? What should a woman
live within your means? How about that? Be humble and live within your means. Do it because don't ask a person. Don't ask a person.
I need you to be more specific. You're being very general. Live between your means. What does that mean?
Wait. What? Okay. Don't ask a man to do something that you're not trying to do yourself.
Okay, that is reasonable. Do you think the average woman is doing that though?
I mean, things change. So the women of 2021 is not the women from 1999 or 87 or 67 or whatever. So I mean, it's a possibility. I can't, but that goes back to what I'm saying. I can say it's a possibility. I can't say a definite yes or no because I haven't been single for 13 years.
Neither have I. But
so how can I answer that?
But we do not live in a bubble.
I'm not
saying I don't think it's unreasonable to have a conversation and pose it around. Hey,
I'm not saying
you acting like I'm asking you to pull teeth. That's what you asking like I'm asking you to
I'm trying
pull your own teeth and rip out your own.
I'm trying to answer the question as best I can, and you're not accepting what I can give you.
I think you're avoiding answering the question.
I'm not avoiding anything, Theresa. That's what I'm telling you. I'm genuinely answering your question. If I'm telling you I don't know, I really genuinely do not know.
Okay, so what's reasonable?
I just gave you something that was reasonable.
What are reasonable things for women to ask for a man?
What are reasonable things to ask for in a man? I mean, reasonable honesty, loyalty. You want to go? I mean, can I say that?
So, do you think the average woman is focused more on means than characteristics of a spouse?
What you mean means? You mean
means is money. Like what you can do for me financially rather than who you are as a person.
I'm not going to say all, but yeah. I'm not going to say all because I don't want to sound bad or feminist or whatever you call it. But yeah. Not all. Not all.
Here's what I think. And this is what
I mean, you gotta I'm sorry. But two, you gotta look at, and I mean, I'm not going to 100% blame them because it comes to the parents too. But you gotta look out sometimes with these kids, with media putting out to these kids too. So, I mean, sometimes the media do push an agenda where it's, having money and having nice
social media.
Social media. It could be rappers. It could be, it could be all kinds of different stuff. And I mean, a lot of that's been pushed out for a long time. Having money or being with somebody who got a lot of money, and I think that's where some of these females get get the mentalities from. Now it's up to the parents to, I say the parents too, because the parents need to step in and let them know what reality is, and a lot of parents don't do that. But we in a society now where it's a lot of kids having kids. So you haven't fully grown up yet, and your mind haven't, your mind still at a kid's, or basically your mind is still in a social media mind state. So you haven't fully grew up, and your child growing up basically on social media like you did. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So I'm gonna talk now. I'm gonna push back on a couple of things you said. One, there aren't a lot of kids having kids.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Okay.
The average age that people have their first child has continued to increase, and teen pregnancies has continued to go down because of democratic policies that provide affordable health care services to women, including safe and accessible abortions, not like Texas. Also, but I do think what you said is true. I think social media specifically has pushed a lifestyle that is a highlight reel of the vacation days, the best parts of people's life, and people expect their life to be that. They don't expect their life to be a messy house and what are we going to have for dinner, a sink full of dishes and stuff like that. They expect their life to be, this is how you take your girlfriend on vacation to New York. I saw some of this stuff and I was like, I could never. Even if I had money, I wouldn't do that, right? And so if those are your expectations, you will be sorely disappointed. But I do think this. I don't think, by and large, women want a man to take care of them. I think the insult that many men feel is that women have realized, I don't need you to take care of me. I don't need to be married to live a full and fulfilling life. And I don't have to pick you. For most of civilization, women have been, and there are certain pockets, but women have been raised to be wives and to be hoped to be picked and chosen by a man. And we don't have to do that anymore. We can have standards. We can say, I want my husband to be like this. And I think that's the hardest part for men, not the money part. Because we live in a society where men are still raised to be providers, even though they don't totally. Can I finish what
I'm saying? Go ahead. I
didn't say that.
I said go ahead.
Even though they don't totally have a class of women who needs to be provided for, I think men are still raised to be providers, and that's something that we have to address in women. But I think for a couple of generations, women have stopped being raised to be homemakers and caregivers. We've been raised to be independent. And because we're independent, there's just some stuff we don't have to tolerate. When we can go to open a bank account by ourselves and get a credit card by ourselves and get a mortgage by ourselves and get a job to pay for all of those things, like the bulk of what women needed men for financially is gone. Now there is something to be said for the fact that most households, in order to run successfully, need 2 incomes. And so a lot of single people work 2 jobs, and that's also not ideal. But women are, by and large, requiring character and character development that men are just now coming into being able to aspire to, right? So if you are brought up in a society that teaches you not to access your emotions and not to express them and not to fix them, because if you're not expressing them and accessing them, you're not going to fix them, your personality and your character, then you can't even work on being a better person, much less be a better person in a relationship. And so women are asking for, I think, simple things like you to be emotionally available. Oh, that's a tough one. And this is about to wrap up. But asking for you to be an emotionally available human, like, tell me how you feel, huh? Like, and that's just not acceptable. Like, you to want intimacy and connection in a relationship, right? And especially, and this goes for black women are the most educated sex and race in this country. We are higher achievers than black men, and most black women end up marrying black men, and vice versa. Most black men end up marrying black women. And so in the dating phase, if the woman has the aspiration of, I want my man to meet me here, quite often, black men specifically cannot. And so you just don't have the income to do that. And so it's not, I don't think so much it is, I want you to take care of me. I want you to meet me where I'm at. And I think that can make men feel less than. Especially if a woman does not understand, like, you got 3 degrees, and most black men drop out of college in the first year. So how is he going to meet you there, right? What do you think?
The ratio for men wanting to get married is declining. Men don't
the ratio for people wanting to get married is declining.
No,
it's
but
not just men.
No, I've read articles. Men.
And I've
men
read.
don't want to have commitments no more. So I mean.
No, it's not commitments. It's not commitments. It is not. There are several. They don't really know why. There's several reasons why, but people are not getting married anymore, and it's because it's not serving what it used to give.
I'm telling
like
you
there
what
used
I
to
read.
be.
I'm telling you what.
And I'm telling you what I read.
I've read men.
Okay. And I've read also, it's not just men.
Okay.
It's people in general are not wishing to couple in traditional ways. And so, because they don't have to, basically. Like, I don't have to marry you and have a fulfilling life. We can just be partners and either live separate lives or live together unmarried and have the same benefits or most of the same benefits as a married couple. Because, like, being married, it has some disadvantages, right? It is not the financial and social advantage that it used to be. Personally, for me, I think there's no more emotionally and spiritually fulfilling thing than being married, and being married to you particularly.
Mm-hmm.
But like that is not the way that many people feel anymore. And so, if that is not the aspiration, if I am here, if I am trying to find a partner in life, not so much a spouse, like when it is not, I'm looking for a provider, I'm looking for a partner, the characteristics are different. And for the first time, women can have standards. Like my generation, maybe my mom's, not all the women in this generation, definitely not my grandmother's generation. Women who got married in our grandmother's generation had to find somebody who would take care of them after their husbands died, after their parents died, because they literally could not open a bank account. Unless you had the means, the cash means to like buy things in cash, you couldn't get a mortgage if you were a woman. You know? And so, like, you had to be married or you would be destitute if you were most of America.
Thank God forbid something happened to you. I don't think I would. I don't know if I'd do it again.
You always say that.
I'm just keeping it real. Like,
knowing what I know, I don't know that I would be married again. I love being in partnership, and so I'd have me another boo eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Probably wait till Macy got older.
I don't even.
And I would want a committed partnership. Don't know if it would have to be a marriage because I don't know if I want to combine assets again. Like because I know that I probably wouldn't want to be remarried while Macy is young, and so like unless you passed away when Macy was like 20 or something, like. It would be a while, and in that while, like I would develop a whole lot of by myself assets, and like it's complicated. Being married is not just a social contract, a spiritual contract. It is a legal contract. It's a financial contract, and so, bruh.
I don't know if I have patience. I mean, I don't. I mean, I ain't gonna say I wouldn't.
Doing it in your youth,
I ain't gonna say I wouldn't get in with somebody, but
I think getting married in your youth, I think is in a lot of ways is easier. Like you're young, and so you're doing a relationship, and that makes it harder, I think. But like outside of the relational aspect, all of the other aspects of getting married young make it easier. But like, I can understand women being like, no, I don't want to date someone who I've heard some extremes where I don't want to date someone who has a budget for a date. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a budget for a date. Dates are really expensive. Me and you might go on dates and we be trying to be as cheap as possible, right? That is just my mindset, because that's also because our finances are connected. So if you broke, I'm broken. I don't want to be broke. Right?
I think the problem is some women are too independent.
Oh, there's no such thing.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly disagree.
You'll
There's
miss
no
out.
such thing
You'll
as
miss out. You'll miss out on a blessing.
I think a lot of times.
I'm not saying all women standards are, but they got some women. I mean, I'm like, come on, bro. Like, let's be real. Some women do have standards that I get what the dude's saying in the video and all that jazz. That average woman, cool. I can see. I ain't gonna say all women. I'm not saying all women have high standards. The average woman probably don't. Some of these women out here though, I'm like, come on, bro, you ain't even grow up like that. Like,
I'm gonna agree with you and disagree with you. I do think there are some people whose standards are ridiculously high, and that's men and women. It's not just women. There are some men
but we're not talking about men.
Who have. We're talking about both men and women.
No,
I'm talking about both men and women.
Okay.
But they're high in different ways. So men's standards, oftentimes, they're not looking for a woman. Oftentimes, not looking for a woman to take care of them. They're looking for a woman to look a certain way and be what they call submissive and docile. And so the woman has to be perfect and stay perfect all of their lives and also do everything that I say. Right? And so that is, I think, the way that oftentimes men are extreme. Women, I think, are often extreme in provider. Like, I want you to be able to afford me the lifestyle that I want even though I can't afford it. Those are the extremes of both men and women. I think the majority of men and women reside in the middle. Like, this is what I want. Can you give this to me? No, it's okay.
Some women
I don't have to be with you. What?
Some women have, I want you to do what I say complex too.
I'm not saying, Michael. I'm saying that the most common way that men and women are extreme is that. I'm not saying that's the only way. And I'm saying those are extremes. I don't think that's the majority of men or women. I think people are looking for, I think before you're married, I think a lot of what we want is just wrong. And there's no way to know that without being married. But I think by and large, men and women are looking for someone that they could successfully partner with and have an emotional, spiritual, maybe not spiritual, but an emotional and physical connection that's real. And that's what most people are looking for. And the variation of how that expresses to each other is different. But this is another thing I want to push back on you. Women are not too independent. That is something that is pushed on women, or a label that is pushed on women, often by men who cannot control women, and women are not to be controlled. I'm not saying that you're trying to do that. I'm saying I'm saying not to pick up that dogma because of how it is used. Because oftentimes when a man says that a woman is too independent, it's not that she is independent, which just means self-sufficient. Yes. And there's no reason that anyone should not be self-sufficient, or there's no degree in which you could be too self-sufficient. You should be able, before you get married, man or woman, to be able to provide, take care of, cook, and clean for yourself. You should be able to run a whole household by yourself before you couple with someone else. It just makes life a whole lot easier. And so what oftentimes men are saying when they say that is, I cannot control women. Duh, that's the point. We are not to be controlled. We are no longer property. And there are some men who have not made that shift. And so they're in a world of women who are like, no, partners. What can you bring to the table? Bottom line, like, man or woman, know what you want. That's good. But also know what you can give to a relationship. I think there's a lot of, I want a husband, I want a wife, but not a whole lot of, I want to be a husband, I want to be a wife. And I think that is more important than, I think if you can be it, then you can ask for it. Like, don't ask me to do something that you can't do for yourself, like you were saying. And that doesn't just go for finances, that goes for character. That goes for emotional maturity and development. That goes for spiritual maturity and development. That goes for intimacy. You have to be what you want in somebody else, because you will receive what you give.
I came in with a marriage mindset of partnership and 50-50. That's what I came in with.
And that's part of the reason why we're married, because I don't know how First of all, I don't know how men can survive not thinking that it is going to be 50-50. There was an article about weaponized incompetence. This woman posted it may have been on Reddit or something, where she posted the shopping list a video of the shopping list she makes for her husband. She describes the item and then she copies and pastes a picture of the item on the shopping list and puts it there. And then she has a diagram of the owl. I was just like, and the article is basically talking about how men feign or fake incompetence so that they can get out of household chores. And like, I just don't see how in 2021 you can enter marriage thinking that your wife is going to wash all of the dishes unless she has expressly expressed she wants to stay home and take care of them.
Because that's how it was back in the day.
It ain't been that way in about 50 years though.
I mean,
and there are some people, and I'm not saying that if that's not how you want. I'm not saying that if that's how you want to view marriage, that is wrong. I am saying that most people cannot afford to do marriage that way because people work, right? And if they don't work, there's a good reason. It's not so they can wash dishes all day.
I don't.
Okay.
I'm not gonna speak on that. I say to each his own. They just got some people who grew up seeing it.
I mean, we grew up seeing. Well, you didn't. I did. I grew up seeing it. No, I really didn't. That stopped when I was little, cause Mom had to go to work too. Anyway, that's all we're gonna talk about today. Michael has to go get the kid. I have to cook dinner. It's time to go pick up.
Got leftovers in there.
Leftovers some what? Ain't no more chicken.
We don't need that.
We're gonna eat succotash. That succotash was good though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna make some more succotash. I don't have any corn though. Would it be okay without the corn? Thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and we will see you in the next one.
Love all y'all, even my independent. No, I'm just kidding. God bless y'all.